So the other service that we do offer, ID Shield. So everybody's heard of identity theft. A lot of people think about it just being credit. And credit is the easy part because most credit card companies will resolve that. Banks will resolve that. But the thing is what happens on a tax return when you go to file your tax return and find out someone else filed it first? Now you've got to deal with the IRS and trying to get your tax refund, and that can end up being a legal issue. Medical claims. Right now, people aren't able to have medical insurance because they can't afford it. So what happens when they use your medical ID to go in and have a surgery, or possibly they go in and change what you're allergic to on prescriptions? That's something that can be deadly. And
Nikki,
so
do they do that? Of course they do, but that happens?
Yes.
Good.
We had someone that went in for a heart surgery and found out that 4 people were using her medical ID. And so thankfully she was able to get that fixed before her heart surgery. Because
so
it really...
Life and death doesn't matter. They're going to steal your identity. It doesn't matter anymore. No morals, no ethics. It's a free for all for these thieves and scumbags.
Well, and 2, they're not caught very often because they're on the web getting this information. And so there's so much identity theft in the real estate market. I was able to help somebody not have her wired proceeds stolen from a $300,000 sale. Well, I went to report it to the police department and they wouldn't even take a report because the money had not gotten stolen. Because they have so many identity theft reports that they can't even keep up with it.
So Nikki, there was a story in San Diego just before the quarantine where a couple had got an email to wire their funds through to purchase their home. This is in San Diego. I don't know if you remember that story. There was a GoFundMe account asking to help give them money because they lost over $750,000 that they'd wired off to some company somewhere, which is despicable. But anyway, and it broke my heart because that could be me. That's rounded off to $1 million. Nikki, that breaks you. That breaks you. That takes you 20 years to recover from $1 million loss.
Well, and if you think about it, a lot of people think about, the deposit money. They don't think about the seller's money. Well, if the seller's money is stolen, they've just sold their home and they can't go anywhere because they need to get the money before they can purchase that next home.
And maybe they have purchased their next home, so they've got money tied up in an escrow account. I remember this is all by discrepancy. There's so many parties involved in a transaction that you don't control every element. Somebody can say, "Oh no, I'm not giving your money back. I'm not giving you a deposit back," or "I'm going to take X amount of money out of a deposit because you cost me now heartache and time and money, whatever, and effort, whatever it may be." Yeah.
It's really life-changing when you're, selling your home, buying a new home, and now you can't finish that transaction. That changes your life. Where do you go? What do you do? Those are the things that people don't really think about. Or driver's license fraud, criminal character fraud. People are getting arrested because they're maybe bad people and they provide a fake driver's license. Well, now you, Kevin Du Toit, have an arrest record on your name where you didn't do anything. And as a real estate agent, you hold licenses that may be revoked because of having a criminal record. Well, that's something that changes your career. We actually helped a real estate agent get a new social security number because she had so much fraud on her social security number.
Jeez.
She couldn't hold a real estate license for over 5 years. And so we were able to help give her career back.
That's a first. I've never ever heard of somebody being reissued a social security number.
Yeah,
No way, Nikki.
it doesn't happen very often at
Yes,
all.
yeah.
And that's the first person I've heard of having that
Wow.
done as well.
But through that case, through your ID Shield, she was supported, taken care of, and she could kind of, in a sense, not have she could have a fresh start, right?
Yes, definitely. So, you know, a lot of people have heard of monitoring. There's a lot of companies out there who monitor. We monitor everything about you, though. So not only your credit, social security, passport, driver's license, medical ID, but, you know, what about your email address?
Okay.
That's a lot of this fraud happens through email, especially
Yes.
with realtors. You may get an email from someone out of the country who wants to purchase property here. And so you click on something, and now that ends up giving access to your computer from this fraud person.
Right, absolutely.
And so it's very important to know if your email has been hacked, to know that someone who's on your social media is possibly known for identity theft.
Right.
And we do monitor the dark web and all that. So that's really where a majority of this is taking place.
So I want to give you an interesting statistic, Nikki. Only 4% of the web is used by the world. What I mean by that is people like me and you only use 4% of the internet traffic in the world.
Wow.
Searching Google, watching YouTube, social media, only 4%. The other 96% is on the dark web.
That's crazy.
So I'm talking all kinds of transactions. I'm talking Bitcoin. I'm talking the sales of ammunition, the sales of weapons, the sales of vehicles. I mean, the dark web is a whole nother planet. We have no comprehension of that, Nikki. That's 96% of internet traffic, because that's all the transactions that are happening in the world and money transfer. So that's kind of out of our realm. But it's interesting that it's called the dark web because it's another entity. Interesting, hey?
Yeah, but I can see why. And all of us have had our identity compromised in one way or another because
I love
of
I see what you're saying. So that you've got 96% against you instead of the 4%, which is for you. Because the 4% is me and you conversing through social media and email and so forth. But hold on, there's 96%, which is it's called the dark web for a reason. For a reason, Nikki. And it's 96% against you. Nikki, these are just facts. You can go do your own research. Just put in there, because I watched a documentary on the dark web, and they were saying how powerful it is. We have no idea how powerful and controlled and the kind of money to be made on the dark web. Forget our eBay accounts and our Amazon accounts and Shield accounts and YouTube accounts. Oh, no. There's a whole nother realm of possibilities on the dark web.
Well, and that's why law enforcement is not able to catch these people. Because once
it's too big.
You track them down, all of a sudden they have a different IP address or whatnot. So
it's encrypted. There's all kind of traffic going on there that's encrypted that it's impossible. It's too big of a scale to monitor.
I really wish if all the bad people out there doing this could just take one little tenth of what they're doing for bad and do that for good, how much of a better world we would have.
That's beautiful, Nikki. Well, thank you for making my day. Just
Someday.
But Nikki, even if it's just 1%, just 1%, can you imagine what a better place we'd live in?
Oh, definitely.
If people just show that 1% kind of say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today. Anyway, we wishes, dreams, hopes.
We have to continue to hope. Otherwise, the world would not be worth living.
Right.
So I'll mention another thing that's different about our service versus other ones out there is we give full service restoration. So some people, maybe with a different company, they have to do some of the legwork. In our case, we do all the legwork. So our normal individual plan starts at $9.95 per person, so very, very reasonable. With that, you get a $25,000 protection plan, which gives you reimbursement. Let's say you've got to fly to Texas to defend yourself and say, no, that wasn't me that worked that job and didn't pay my taxes. You may have to fly there. Now you're out airfare, you're out hotel stay, you're out time off work. So that's what that reimbursement plan is for.
Nikki, here's a story. And I just interviewed this guy yesterday. I can't mention names. He goes to another country. He goes to another country and gets a speeding ticket. He wasn't speeding. However, he was typecast. They spotted him, they saw him, and they completely abused him and his wife.
Wow.
In a bad way. He said it was terrible. Anyway, he gets a ticket. He had to go, and the country's a 7-hour drive. So it's like from here to Oregon, or from here up to Oregon. So he had to take a day out of his life and drive the 7 hours, appear in court, and then come back. Again, what I'm trying to say is that you don't think it happens. I just spoke to a guy yesterday. It happens. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time, Nikki.
It does. So for an additional $5 per month, you can have all 3 bureau monitoring and a $1 million protection policy for those types of issues. Right now, high risk applications, that would be for IRAs, for money market accounts, for other investment accounts. Sometimes by the time you find out money's gone, it may be a year ago, and banks don't have to give that money back. And so you may need some additional help with things like that.
So hold on, Nikki.
That's what that's for.
So hold on, Nikki. Let's talk about that. I've got 2 investment portfolios, one on Robinhood and one on Webull. So what you're saying is, if both or one of those companies go bang, they mismanaged or whatever it may be. I'm just any financial institution or hedge fund, and all of a sudden I had my money in that through that brokerage, and I lose that money. I don't have access to it. Yes, it's stuck with the SEE and they were the SSE, whatever they're doing. They're trying to give my money back. You're saying your service supports and guides me through that process.
Yes, definitely.
Wow. Because that is a concern. When the bank loses money, I'm insured. When my investment portfolios lose money, I'm insured. Again, it does happen often, Nikki.
It does. And so most people, by the time they find out, it's too late for those insurances through their bank or through the investment accounts.
Got it. Are me and you finished yet, or can we talk face to face?
Let me just mention our business coverage real quick.
Okay. How you like that? Say face to face with Nikki. Meanwhile, it's on Zoom face to face.
Yes.
I feel like, but Nikki, I think like I'm in the other room talking to you. That's why I'm like, I'm waiting in the lobby to come into your office. Is what I feel like right now. Your fancy lobby.
That's what I love. Lobby. Yes. So with our businesses, just with the family plan, for example, you can add a trial defense supplement if you work a job that you feel like you're more prone to be sued. That gives you an extra 100 hours per year of lawsuit protection. Okay. Gun owner supplement, maybe someone has to defend their home. Now they're being taken to trial for killing somebody. You will have an attorney represent you for those types of issues.
And I'm a gun owner. I've got my license. I'm not scared about that. You come into my house, someone's going to get hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then home business supplements. So that's for people that are real estate investors. Now you can get help with how to evict those tenants. That doesn't include lawsuit protection. However, it gives you that extra advice you need regarding your investment properties. It gives you advice, you as a realtor, as far as what you should do on certain transactions, because for one, your brokerage and whatever legal they have, that's really protecting them, not necessarily you. And so sometimes you need to just find out about your own business, you know,
Right,
how
very nice.
to incorporate, how to do whatever you need to do for running your business.
I've run businesses before, and I had to buy an extended. I went through LegalZoom, and actually I bought a legal package because it didn't matter, Nikki. Even though I opened up my doors and my brokerage, there were so many unanswered questions that I needed legal advice on, and even to the point when I was closing my doors because it got too costly.
Mm-hmm.
I was even to close. I had to get legal advice. So it was like never ending. It was just I was always on the phone with the legal department on the process or my next step, you know, in closure. So yeah, very good, very good.
Then we have additional plans just for the business.
Right, I
And
see
so
that.
small business 10, that's for 10 employees or less, 50 employees or less, or 100 employees or less. So those are the monthly packages for those. The one that's $89 and $149, those both include lawsuit protection for the business as well. And then something that we offer launch, that starts a corporation for $149. The difference is you have an attorney helping you through the process the whole way as well.
Okay, nice, Nikki, very nice. Well,
And
Nikki,
so,
this is a wonderful service. Eh? You know, when you came to me, I was just an agent. Now I've got a brand. Now I'm building a channel. Now I'm earning different avenues, assuming revenue. So I'm looking at doing this right because I want to protect myself. Nikki, this is not about protecting me. This is about protecting my legacy. I've got an amazing, incredible wife and 5 sons. I'm gonna do anything I can to make sure that they're protected. That's the only reason. And I'm not gonna pay $100,000 here for an in-house attorney. I'm not gonna do that. Nobody can do that unless they have a successful corporation that's may bring in millions of dollars in company dollar every year. So this is almost like a no-brainer. Not that I'm endorsing you because I'm not a part of your program yet. I'm fascinated by it because I'm looking for solutions I'm looking for a program like yours to get into. And this is exactly why we're having this conversation.
one of the other things that I'll mention is we do also offer employee benefits. And a reason why an employer might want to offer this to their employees is, for one of the things, like I mentioned, emails being compromised. We've had clients where the HR person got an email from who they thought was the CEO requesting all the W-2s for that year. It went out to somebody who now has all of their employees' social security numbers. And so
addresses,
case,
spouses, children. Oh my goodness.
The employer has to provide at least 1 year worth of identity theft monitoring after that. However, you know, you may want your employees to have protection up front to make sure that their email is not compromised, to give them that advice they might need about their teenager getting a ticket. Now they don't have to go to court. They can send an attorney on their behalf.
Right, absolutely.
So it's a way where you can allow your employee to stay at work and be present and do what you need them to do because they have the legal service. They have the identity theft service.
I love it.
And the employee could never use the legal service against the employer. So you're protected as an employer as well.
Okay, Nikki, so let's quickly talk about the backstory of the Shield program, Legal Shield and ID Shield. How did this all come about? Let's go to me having a conversation now because anyway, if any of you want to get a hold of Nikki Hall, I'll have her contact details below in the description box. Feel free to reach out to her. She's a wonderful lady. She really is. She wants to see you succeed. She wants to see you protected. She wants to see you happy. I know because I've known Nikki and Brad for many years now. And now look at me. Now I'm turning to you, Nikki. Nikki and Brad always believed that I should be protected and have this program. And I've kind of just brushed it off. And now I'm going, hey, Nikki, you know what? You know that program you have? You mind if I, can you pitch it to me again, please? So all of the details in the description box below. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, crush the like button, click on the bell button so you get notification whenever I upload a video. Let's carry on. Nikki Hall, give me a quick backstory on Legal Shield?
It
How
was
did it all come about?
originally, what was
Yeah,
that?
how did it all come about?
Okay. So Harlan Stonecipher was our founder, and he was a teacher by day, life insurance salesman by night. He ended up getting in a car accident. Even though he was not at fault, when he was in the hospital, the other person sued him, and he had to defend himself. He used his life savings to do that. And so, yes, he won, but at what expense? And so he realized at that time that we had no legal service. And so he formed our company based on a company that was working in Europe. And he formed it as Prepaid Legal. And back in 2011, they rebranded us as Legal Shield when he sold us to a company called MidOcean Partners. So that was $651 million that they purchased us for. We were on the stock market at the time. So they bought us off the stock market. And then just recently, 2018, they sold us for not the whole share, but for 1.2 billion to another company called Stone Point Capital. And so really these companies realize that there's only going to be more and more of a need for legal and identity theft service. And so we're not going away anytime soon.
Right.
We've been around since 1972.
1972, because people are growing and land isn't. So
Yes.
there's I forget the statistics, because I mean, how many people are born like a minute born? So yeah, it's not going away anytime soon, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
So Nikki, let's change the subject and go to ID Shield. How did ID Shield come about and become that extra service?
That was, I want to say about 15 years ago. They just realized that there was more and more identity theft out there, and knew that they really, anything happening with identity theft, about 70% of it ends up needing legal advice to go with it. And so we had partnered with a company, Kroll, back then, who would do the government background checks. So they were a very great company.
Oh, okay.
We recently, though, the past, I want to say 2 years, brought it in-house just so that we can have a little bit more control over what we offer our clients. And so we have licensed private investigators who fix the identity theft issues for you.
I love it. Nikki Hall, thank you very much. I want to say I hope to see you. I know we live in the same county. I'm spending a lot of time up in Los Angeles. I've got some really big development deals I'm working on. I've got into commercial now. This is a quick upsell on me. But you can understand now that I've elevated from just doing luxury to going into commercial, I'm talking the hotel industry, I'm talking big buildings. I've got a huge client base right now that I'm working with. So you can understand, I'm thinking 20 steps ahead, because I'm going to have questions, I'm going to need answers. And the associates that I'm dealing with right now are high net worth individuals. They're billionaires. And let me tell you what, Nikki, when you deal with a billionaire, they're very different individuals. They're not like the normal person on the street. They've been elevated to a whole nother, and more power to them. They deserve it. They've earned it. They've worked hard. They've sacrificed. They've given everything. And now they're living a different life, a better life, because they've created massive opportunity for so many people. In saying that, I need to be on that par, on that same level. So thank you for your time. You're amazing, Nikki. All your details will be in the description box below. Get a hold of Nikki. Support her service, because I'm going to be. You can hear my son in the background. I'm working from home under quarantine. Yes, I worked outside, but it was so noisy with all the birds and the traffic. And have a great time, Nikki.
Thank you so much. And anything I can do to help you with your business, definitely let me know.
Well, give us one takeaway for all of us that are out there that are thinking about not really a side hustle, but they're concerned because of the times we're in right now. We're stuck at home. We literally are stuck at home, Nikki. I'm stuck at home. I can't go do open houses. I can't show property. I can go preview myself like a drive-by, or do desktop appraisals on hotels and development projects and commercial brick and mortar. What do you have for us, Nikki? Give us a little takeaway.
You know, this is the type of business that you can work off your phone, which is amazing. And so I'm just so thankful that I can work at home. But a lot of people right now are being laid off. A lot of people are, you know, not sure if they're going to have a job in the next month or two. And so really, that's a perfect reason to have this as a protection, just to be able to contact your attorney and say, what are my rights? What do I need to do? But beyond that, I'm here for anyone. I love networking. I love to be able to introduce people to other business owners I know. And so, you know, just contact me. Let me know how I can help you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Whether it's Legal Shield related or not, I'm definitely here for you and for anyone who knows you.
Thank you, Nikki. It actually makes sense because, Nikki, tens of millions of people will not be able to afford their rent in the next few months. And tens of millions will not be able to afford their mortgage. I'm not talking millions, Nikki. I'm not talking millions. I believe we're in a very difficult time. Thank God we've got a good, strong government right now that's kick ass. But I do believe there's some difficult times around the corner that's going to take a lot of financial funding that we've paid through taxes to the government, that the government's going to have to now reinvest back in us. So something like this makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Nikki.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
You have an awesome day.
Thank you. Cheers, Nikki. Okay, Nikki, would you stop recording?